Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second part in Neva's 24-hour reading sprints. Thank you so much, Neva, for hosting these every month. Honestly, it is amazing. I feel like I get so much productivity done. Before we kind of get into all the comments and another sprint, I guess we can introduce ourselves. I'm Leandra, by the way. I'm Leandra, the TBR0. I do a lot of booktube content on my own channel, reading sprints, vlogs, and the like. I tend to read a lot of mysteries, but I think I'm in my fantasy sci-fi era at the moment. I'm also participating in the Amazing Readathon, which is hosted by Bree, 4 Paws in a Book. I am not a host in any way, but everyone else who's hosting a leg for this 24-hour reading sprint is. So right now we're having Neva be our representative for that particular readathon, and I will let Neva introduce herself in case anyone isn't doing it.
I'm me. I'm Neva. My channel is Reading with Neva. I am the crazy person that decides to do 24-hour sprints every month. I used to do it by myself. Yeah, it's fine. Lay down. I used to do it by myself for 24 hours, and then friends decided that they wanted to do it with me. I think we started doing it in June. Was it June?
I think so too. Yes, I think it was June.
So ever since June, we've been doing it this way instead, which is much easier for me.
Yeah.
Yes, and then these are special Amazing Readathon edition 24-hour sprints, since I am a co-host of For the Yellow Team for that, which is great. It's so much fun. My reading has never been so chaotic in all of my life, to be honest.
Yep. Sounds about right.
I'm Nicole. I am in the future for everybody right now. It is 6 a.m. It is dawn is just breaking here. So if I don't string a sentence together, please excuse me, because I've just woken up. So my channel is Dusty Book Sniffers, as you can see at the bottom of the screen there, and I host weekly sprints on a Monday and Friday here in Australia, which is a Sunday and a Thursday evening for those in the Northern Hemisphere. I do reading vlogs, meet the author. We're reading an author that I don't necessarily know much about for the first time, do lots of little bookish content and all that sort of stuff. I too am also participating in the Amazing Readathon. I'm not a host in any way, shape or form. I take my hat off to each and every one of them and definitely bow down to Bree, because it has been epic. And I take my hat off to the lass, because wow, she has thrown a spanner in my TBR this month, but it's been fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. And I love hanging out. This is my second time doing 24 hours of reading sprints with Neva. And so thank you very much, Neva, for inviting me along yet again. I appreciate it.
I'm just so glad that people want to participate.
Yes, honestly, if it allows you to get a few more hours of sleep, we are happy to help, because I don't know how you were doing it before, where you were just staying up, and I don't know how you were functioning.
To be honest, me either, because it went from me doing it by myself, completely by myself, because somehow that was a thing that I did in the early days of my channel. I just sprinted for hours by myself. So I would sleep for 6 hours. I would set a 6-hour sprint in the middle of the night, and I would sleep for 6 hours and then get up and finish the sprints. Then I don't know, maybe 6 months in, I had people that would come on with me, but it was still only run on my channel. But I would always have Crystal or Paige that would be up with me in the middle of the night. So I was like, well, now you can't sleep because you have people
are counting on you
on the thing. You can't sleep. So I just figured out how to not sleep. But by the end, I was dead. By the end.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we started doing it on other people's channels, I usually sleep for one during somebody's sprints for one sprint. But also I just go to bed early on Thursdays to make sure that I'm awake enough to make it at least through half.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of people who've joined already. Hello, Glenda. Welcome. What is everybody reading? Hi, Essie. Welcome, welcome. Speaking of, our queen for Pause in a Book herself, Bree. Thank you so much for giving us, honestly, the most hectic in the best way readathon ever.
Right.
Hi, Shay. She also, so by the way, I'm on red team, so Shay is among my leaders. Hello, Christina. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Caitlin. Rolling on in here now. Sprints are helping me squeeze out some productivity on a gloomy Friday. Honestly, happy to help. Whether it's productivity or reading, even if you're not participating in like the Amazing Readathon, like honestly, if you got to get things done, this is a good place to do it. Christina says, I am listening to The Thinnest Air by Minka Kent while working on squares and getting stuff done. Awesome. Hello, Sarah. Hi, Jessica. Yes, it's so nice to see all these friends in the comments and on screen. Hello, Ro. Steph is also here. Ro is reading Give Me More by Sarah Kate. I've never read anything by Sarah Kate, but I feel like a lot of people talk about her. Loving it.
I think this is part of the praise series, like the one that has praise in it. So like the Nudie Street cover, it's like a pink shoe. I've only read that one. Well, yeah, because I think it's praise and then Eyes on Me and then Give Me More.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, anyone in the comments, if you're looking especially for like queer rep, queer fantasy, anything like that, Ro is the person to go to. Especially if you want like a premise stringed together in the most beautiful, eloquent way. Like Ro just knows how to do it. Hello, Brittany. We have another leader in the comments for the blue team. Speaking of, Nicole's a part of the blue team. Yes, Bree, of course. Like, oh my gosh. Like, honestly, if anyone should be thanking, we should be thanking you. So yeah, everyone's having so much fun. Thank you, Christina, for booping the like button. We appreciate it. I have about an hour, I think, left of The Haunting of Ashburn House. Oh my gosh. I have never heard of that, but it sounds like you've already started your spooky season. I know that you were talking about that in another sprints, how like as a content creator, you just have to start super early anyway. So maybe this prompt was a perfect reason for you to kind of start even earlier than you planned. Joshua just finished a book just as we started. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations. I hope that it was enjoyable. If you need to take a break and then like this first sprint, maybe watch something, do some chores around the house, eat, because sometimes it's hard to jump from one book to the next if you need to process it. And let us know if you recommend the book that you just finished. Caitlin, Amazing Readathon truly is one of the most chaotic readathons I've ever done, but I adore it. And Brianna is legit amazing for putting it all together. Yes, like let's all continue to like praise her in the comments if we want. I will gladly continue to read them aloud because 100% deserved. I'm reading the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. What a name. That title is quite a mouthful, by Mary Ann Schaefer and Annie Barrows. You know what's interesting about that? Duo writers, I've always wondered what kind of collaborative process that is like to like work with someone else. Like, are you doing every other chapter? Is like one person writing and another person editing? How do you get the voice up? So yeah,
I'm pretty sure I've got that on my TBR.
Wow.
On the many shelves of TBR.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like somewhere in the distance among the shelves.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah. Currently at 50% in The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. You know what's so funny is like you can see like the various like the prompt in the various titles, which is very funny. So you know who's on like doing the Amazing Readathon and who isn't. I'm reading Hunt the Stars. Zach, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. Okay, I think it's going to be the only good book for me in August. Well, okay, that honestly, I'm very glad. that would have been horrible if it was the opposite because I loved Hunt the Stars.
Is that the first in the series?
It is, yes. So it's the Starlight's Shadow series. It's a trilogy by Jessie Mahalik. The third book just came out this summer. I've only read the first book, but I'm very excited for books 2 and 3.
I've got the 3 on Scribd. They popped up in Scribd, so I'm going to listen to them sooner rather than later. On your recommendation, of course. Again,
honestly, I can only obviously recommend the first book, but Danny from Danny Dabbles, she's read books 1 and 2 at least, and she loved both of them. They're like awesome space operas. They've got romance. They've got like a telepathic fox. Like, come on, what else? What else do you want?
Fully.
Genuinely, I'm like, how else can I sell this book to anyone? Shay
Sold.
says, yeah, exactly, sold. I'm so glad. I've got a little under 50 pages left of The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. Wrapping team read today. Woohoo! I know that Shay was also saying in the Discord that like this book was really good. Like she's enjoying it a lot. So if anyone's kind of been on the fence, I feel like Shay's a good person to like confirm it's a good read to go for. Glenda is finishing up Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I've never read anything by Ali Hazelwood, but like it's an author I want to try, like at some point. Yeah, even though Neva has her own feelings about this person.
I was going to say, Neva has feelings. I can tell. The face says it all. I have feelings.
Yeah, me and Ali Hazelwood are not friends, bro. Here's the thing. And I gave her a second. Here's the thing. Like she's an author, a romance author that I gave a second chance because I understood myself well enough to know that like when I read The Love Hypothesis, I was not a romance girly. Like unless it had to be dark romance. And like I do mean dark. Okay, I don't mean like contemporary romance with smut. I was reading like I don't even know what I was reading back then. H.T. Carlson and stuff like that. I tried the love, so I can do my diamond painting. Thank you. I tried to do The Love Hypothesis. I gave it 3 stars at a time when a 3-star was basically like a 1-star for me. And then I tried a couple of the novellas after I hit my romance era. We weren't meant to be. We just, I hope everyone, this is what I'm doing. I hope everyone else loves Ali Hazelwood, truly. But I can't get around her descriptions of people.
These people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just don't love it. I don't like this person.
And you did kind of acknowledge that it might have been a you thing, because sometimes I do admit that. Like if I'm reading a book, I'm like, okay, is it me? If I were like maybe, reading this 5 years earlier, 2 years later, whatever, would I be viewing it differently? So you did give her a second chance, and it just sounds like it's just not for you, which that makes sense. Josh,
not every author is going to be for you anyway, so.
Yeah. I think it'll be a 3-star. It's called Dancer from the Dance by Andrew Holleran, set in the 1970s about the New York City gay scene. Well, it sounds interesting. And I feel like if you're giving it a 3-star, that means it definitely like has a chance of being someone else's 5-star. So if it sounds interesting to someone else, like try it out. Yes, Bree, all of the feels for you, genuinely. I'm 40% into The Last Rose of Shanghai and hoping to finish it today. Good luck, Bronwyn. Yes, you totally can, especially if you continue with the 24-hour reading sprints. Like everybody will be helping you out with that. I liked that book. They made it into a movie too. It's on Netflix. Really? Oh my gosh. That's the was that like this one? The really, really long title. Oh my gosh. It's always interesting how often you find out like a book was turned into like a Netflix, Hulu, something else. Like constantly books are being turned into like mini series. So that's very interesting.
Oh, look,
I'm with Neva on this. What'd you say?
Daylight. It's not dark anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Ali Hazelwood is very okay at best. I'm not a big fan. I liked the novella by her a little more than the Love Hypothesis, but she's not someone I'll seek out to read. Yeah, that's interesting. But that's good to know, because sometimes if everybody loves an author, I'm like, that can't be realistic. Like everybody has preferences. Oh no, you're muted, I think.
I'm sorry. She's definitely one of those authors that is like everyone loves her. And I'm just like, listen, I lost subscribers at the beginning of my channel for talking about The Love Hypothesis. So.
That's so crazy.
That's fine.
Yeah, like it's okay. We can
we're big mad that I did not like The Love Hypothesis. And I was like, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I'm sure there are books that I read that you wouldn't like. I mean, a lot of people did not care for Hooked when we all read that, and I gave that book 5 stars even on reread. So like, and I was out here like unfollowing people.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, that's a good point. Like I read Hooked, and I think I gave it 3 stars myself, and it's like Neva and I are still friends. Like we can persevere.
I gave it 4, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're a good spectrum. So there we are.
Yeah.
And then hello, welcome everybody. It looks like we're getting close to the end of the comments, so then we can start our next sprint. If 45 sounds good, that's on the marker right now. Just let us know. If you'd rather it be longer, shorter, like we can kind of figure things out depending on people's preferences. Hello, Anne. I'm currently reading When the Light Goes Out by Mary Kubica. I've never heard of this, but I hope you're enjoying it. My blog when I read The Love Hypothesis was BookTube is going to cancel me. Oh no. Well, okay, that makes us feel better. Different people are feeling different ways. That's honestly, I had a similar experience just recently. I tend to DNF a lot, so I won't be rating books that I don't tend to like because I usually DNF quite quickly. But the last one that I didn't like very much that I did a video on that was very scary was The Happy Place by Emily Henry. And that's an author that a lot of people love too. So it's nerve-wracking. It's really scary to admit when you don't like a book that most people like.
Listen, even I have my issues with Happy Place. I mean, I gave it 3, but it's definitely my least favorite Emily Henry book. And I really do enjoy Emily Henry. I vibed with it until like 70% through, and then the shift happened, and I was like, and then I watched Leandra's video, and I was like, yeah, I literally agreed with everything Leandra said. I listened to it while I was at work, like it was a podcast, and I was talking to Leandra in the video, and people were like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, nobody, please be quiet, thank you. I agreed with everything that you said in that video.
That makes me feel better. And again, like I've known people, good friends who gave it 5 stars. So like totally fine. It's just different thoughts, different experiences.
I would have given it 5 stars simply for the main character. I liked the main character.
Like, the thing is, I loved her. I genuinely did.
That it got 3 stars because of the main character. But then like her friends, bro. I just
if you know, you know in the comments.
I haven't read it yet, but I inadvertently listened to Murphy Napier's review on it. I purposely didn't watch your section when you talked about it because I had just purchased it. And then I was watching Murphy Napier, and she was on in the background, and she started going on about it.
Yeah,
I guess the friends are not great.
Yeah, that's one takeaway you can have for that. It's just not a great friend group. We won't say much more about it. Do the sprint for as long as you like. I'm just here to read and have some company. Yeah, thanks, Shay. 45 is good for me. All right, Zach, sounds good. Same here. Okay, perfect. Love it, awesome. Okay, 45 to 60 is one request. Okay, great. So then we'll make sure to do, hi, Ollie, how are you? Welcome, thanks for being here. I had to take a nap. ML just got home. Oh, wonderful. I hope ML's job is like going well. Like she's enjoying the university she's working for now and everything. And like things are just getting nice and settled for you all there. But yeah, thanks for being here. And I hope the nap was refreshing. Okay, great. So let's rearrange the screens here. I think we're going to go reading. Oh my gosh. Good point. Oh, goodness, as if I'm the one who should be hosting this. Probably not. So I'm reading Death Comes to Marlowe. It's by Robert Thorogood. He's the creator of like Death in Paradise, that TV series, if people know that. And so this is the second book in his like Marlowe Murder Club mystery series. It literally only fulfills the main prompt for the readathon because that's where I'm at mentally. So no extra points for me, but that's okay. What are you guys reading?
I'm reading Under Her Care. Do we love this book? I don't know yet. Okay. It looks like this. You can get it on Kindle. I'm listening to it on Scribd because I actually own the ebook, so I can't borrow it from Kindle Unlimited. But you can get it from Kindle Unlimited. I think you can get all of Lucinda Berry's stuff on Kindle Unlimited. It's like it's a thriller. Yeah, it's a thriller. That's all I know about this book. I'm like 8 chapters in, and it's fine. I don't know how I'm enjoying it right now. There's like autism rep in this, which I know Lucinda Berry is known for doing like disability rep in her books because she's a psychologist of some kind, or she was before she was an author or something like that. I don't know. The current storyline is they think that an autistic boy is a murderer, and I don't know how I feel.
Okay. Yeah. I know that's always like kind of.
I've only read one other book by her, and it was The Perfect Child, which is like a creepy kid book. You know what I'm saying? Which, like, that book was good. I gave that book 5 stars. But my story graph says that I read this last year. I remember nothing. It says I read this last year and gave it 5 stars. Because when I went to put
it was so good you forgot about it.
When I went to put it in my story graph, it was like, you read this. I read this like June of 2022. I don't remember that happening. I probably did, but I don't remember it happening. So we'll see if I still give it 5 stars.
Yeah, honestly, that's a kind of an interesting experiment. That'll be cool to figure out.
I'm reading Across the Water by Ingrid Alexandra, an Australian author that I didn't know I had on my shelf. So there.
Awesome.
And it fits the prompt, but it's really weird. This actually looks blue in real life, but it looks grey.
Like on the screen.
On the camera, yeah. Like, it's so weird. Like, it's got like, you can see the blue a bit better there. But yeah, the front looks a bit grey. But yeah, so I was happy because the original book I was going to go with, I just wasn't. I got 20 pages in, and I'm like, I'm just not there. So yeah, I picked this one up instead. So hopefully I'll get that finished today.
Woohoo! Very cool. Awesome. And I know that some more comments came in, so we'll just get through them very quickly. Glenda has welcomed Ollie and ML. Christina says, I am good with whatever you want. Just going to read and work and listen. Sounds good. Thanks, Christina. Leandra, I want your thoughts on that sequel. I read the first and I'm wondering if I should continue. Okay, I'll let you know. It'll be interesting to know because I know a lot of people like to compare it with like the Thursday Murder Club series because they're both kind of cozy with like this kind of group of people in a village or anyway. So yeah, definitely let you know. Hello, my favorite people. Hello, Jean. Almost finished work, but now I realize I have to do a little bit of overtime this weekend. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I love the way Chloe Lease, is that how it's pronounced again? Chloe Lease depicts autism and mental health. Speaking of mental health, next month, September, is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And just because we're talking about awareness months, it's also Deaf Awareness Month. So if anyone likes to kind of organize their reading, like their TBRs based on like important months, like celebrations and that type of thing, those 2 things are very important. So make sure that like we're including them in our books that we're reading. Hey, Brittany, how did ping pong go? Yeah, good question.
Oh, I played mine too.
Didn't go well? Oh no.
I mean, it went fine, okay? But here's the thing. I don't know if I can cut out Mr. Reading when even in the background yelling about how this is not beer pong because I didn't remove the cups and I was like, this is not beer pong, this is ping pong, please leave. But also like
Crystal about the rules, sir. Like if you have any problems.
It was nice enough. You know what I mean? Like I started with 4 books, I ended up with 7. So like it was nice enough. But I have to pick my books now. I only filmed like the throwing part, but yeah. And now I'm diamond painting because why not? Everyone else in the world is diamond painting, so I feel like I'm missing out on something.
Me too, honestly.
Yes, I'm gonna make you jealous.
I have one sitting just behind me that I've got about 3 hours left in it. It's absolutely massive.
Yeah, I feel like you've shown bits and pieces on your own sprints, and it is looking gorgeous. Yeah,
it is. I've got all her face is done. The dragon's done. I've just got the top left-hand corner to do now, which is like a bit of mountainous sort of stuff happening in the background there. And I've got another one that I've got to sort out for September because we have an event called Sparkle September where we break our diamond painting into 30 pieces. Like, so we use cover sheets and number them 1 to 30 and just randomly put them across the canvas, and then I spin a wheel and whatever number comes up, that's the section you work on. So it's not being, going row by row, you're going section by section, so you could end up anywhere.
So it's like patchwork. Yeah. That's cool.
Well, I have no idea what I'm doing. I watched 6 different videos and I ordered the stuff they told me to order. And then I ordered like a 6-pack so I ordered this like pretty pen thing, which is cute. And then oh my God. Yeah, mine is not that big. I ordered like a 6.
Neighbor.
Wow. That is gorgeous, bro.
That is Jasmine Beckett Griffith is the artist for this one.
Oh my gosh.
I ordered like a 6-pack of Halloween themed ones off of Amazon, and I was like I'm doing the Sanderson sisters. Okay.
That's also so cool. It's perfect for the season, like for fall coming up.
So I was like, if I can do these, because Ari, like, I want to get some from, is it Diamond Art Club?
That's where that one came from. Craftability. I'll pull down the Diamond Art Club one that I'm doing for September and show you.
I really want to get the Diamond Art Club ones, but they're a bit more expensive. So I was like, you need to know that you like doing this before you go spend $35 on the Powerpuff Girls, ma'am. Like, let's smart. This 6-pack cost me like $15, which like it's not the greatest quality I've ever seen, but it will do.
Yeah, to see if you like it, and it's very I find it very zen, just the movement of going backwards and forwards and doing it, and very relaxing. And there's another good website that I go to as well that has a lot of different ones that are relatively cheap, and that's Fansell, so FANSELLS.com, and they're really cheap as well, but the quality is a little bit better than the ones that I've got off Amazon. So
yeah, and I mean, it's not like terrible quality. Like I can see the symbols and stuff, but it's definitely not like I'm not gonna give this to somebody. Like I'll probably hang it on my own wall. You know what I mean? Or I'm not like just give it to anybody.
Underneath, I don't know whether you've seen it or not. Underneath mine, if you get into it, the best thing that you can get, we'll just turn this into a craft chat, is a light pad.
I have one.
Yeah. And it's the best way. It doesn't strain your eyes.
Yeah, this light pad is like, I should have gone a size up.
Yeah, I got an A3, which is the biggest you can get.
I got an A4. This is an A4, and like you can see, it's like a little too small. Like it's not plugged up right now because I have my light on, but it's a little bit too small. So I might go to an A3 just so that I know that it will fit at least the art that I have. But I mean, it's not terrible, and like I have it clipped, but I could definitely just move it over.
Yeah.
But
A3 is good because that's the size that you've got. That's like most of the ones that you can get fairly cheap, and it just fits on it nicely, and you don't have to worry about moving it or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm an adult autistic person, and I don't mind personally because like I've seen crime shows where like they're under suspicion. It's going to annoy me though if the twist at the end starts to feel like it's going to be that he's being accused of murder simply because like he's the murderer because he's autistic. I'm not vibing with that. But from the things that I've seen talked about when people talk about Lucinda Berry, she doesn't tend to do that. Like, she has the autistic rep in a lot of her books, but doesn't tend to have it where the autistic person is the bad guy. Like you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More a talk of like prejudice against or like stereotypes against people with disability, and not that the person with the disability is actually the person that did the thing.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so let's see here. It wasn't too bad. I'll have the video out Wednesday. It was nicer than Timmy's TBR. That's out tomorrow and was chaos. I remember you saying that like the readathon, specifically Breeze, got your TBR game some ideas, and so now it's like chaos. Yeah. I love Mr. Reading with Neva and Ari content. They add variety to your vlogs, Neva.
Thanks so much.
I was reading the other day, and my daughter got in the car with some gossip, and I just looked at her, and like she blurted it out, and I'm like, well, lucky I stopped talking because I'll be able to edit that gossip out.
Yeah, like you've almost told the internet, but don't worry, we got to go through editing.
You need to check whether Mother is talking to herself again.
It was like last night I was on Cal Sprints, and Mr. Reading when Eva came in here to talk to me, and he was like, who are these people? Thank God I was muted, bro, because he went off on a tangent. It's like the only person he recognized was Brittany. And he was like, who's that? I've never seen that person. Who's this? And then he thought Margaret was Rainey.
Oh my God.
He didn't know what Cal's pronouns were. So he asked who the young, ambiguous person was because he didn't want to like use the wrong pronouns. And I was like,
he's working on himself.
And he was like, I thought you replaced the besties. I was like, no, dude, these are amazing readathon sprints.
He's like, where do your loyalties lie? It's like, I'm friends with everybody. It's fine.
The only one I recognize is Brittany. He was like, who are these people?
Yeah. It's funny because sometimes we don't know if he is mentally present.
She's talking about her son.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I feel like when we have multiple conversations going, I really want to try one of the diamond paintings. Yeah, me too. I feel like that would be really fun. Hello, Tina. Since halfway through Neva's third sprint, I've been on FaceTime with my brother.
Wow.
That happens, you know what I mean? I just finished my waist cuff for my crocheted sweater and tried it on, and it doesn't fit. It's too tight, so I'm gonna need to remove it and redo it. Oh my gosh, that is the perfect emoji, the upside down smiley face for that. I would have a problem if it ended like that too. Yeah, it just shocked me a bit because I didn't think he was paying attention or here, and suddenly he said that. Okay. Yes, good afternoon. Hello, welcome. Okay, finally we're gonna get to our first sprint in this leg. I love how like literally even in the first chat we've gone through so many topics. That's why reading sprints are so fun. Okay, so if everyone's good, we'll do 45. We'll come back, and then we can always reassess to a longer one if people want to like make up for the chatty bits or whatever. But okay, I will start the timer.
Now boarding flight AMZ 882 to Tokyo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I wonder, did the sound go off for everybody, or was it just me?
I heard it.
Okay, yay, that's good. Because it's one of those worried things where it's like, is my voice going to be the alert that everybody knows to come back? It'd be terrifying. So, oh my gosh. Firstly, sorry everyone for that, for who noticed that, like, my internet blinked out for a second. I don't know if you've ever had that where you hear like the dreaded click where it seems like everything's gone off and turned back on, and I was like, what just happened? So yeah, fortunately, like it only was like a minute or two that it took me to kind of get back online. So thank you, Neva and Nicole, for just carrying on. Appreciate it. I ended up getting
we sort of just looked up at each other, went, okay.
Yeah, back to work. Okay, acknowledge. Not the only person who noticed this. And moving on. Yeah, at first I thought it was like fine. I was like, okay, we're good. And then suddenly I was like, nope, nothing is good. Everything has gone wrong. I ended up getting a couple more chapters into Death Comes to Marlowe. In this book, if you're someone who really likes like the murder to happen immediately, like chapter 2, we've got a dead body. So like it's not one of those that drags on. They're immediately investigating, and so I'm liking it, but I'm still feeling things out. How did you all do, Neva? How's your diamond painting going?
I mean, I have like this whole corner done.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Oh, I can. Yeah, that honestly, that's gonna look so good. Even if it's like your first time and you're just having fun with it, like, and it's not like a huge thing. That's gonna be a cool one. You can put up like every like fall.
Yeah, and it's definitely like not perfect. Like you can see where like I didn't get some of the diamonds like perfectly on the symbol, but it's fine. But I know what everyone's getting for Christmas this year. Like, I don't know. Like, people are getting like coasters or something. I'm just gonna diamond paint everything and be like, here you go. You're welcome.
That's why I want to learn how to knit or crochet. Like, I want to be able to be that person who gifts like scarves for Christmas or something.
I don't know if crocheting is my calling, but diamond painting feels like my calling. You know what I mean? Because I can make something for everyone. Truly. I made it to chapter 14 of this book. I'm intrigued. Okay? Like, I'm intrigued. I still don't know how I feel about it, because we're following 3 different perspectives. You get like chapters from Genevieve, which is the mom of the autistic boy. You get not even chapters, only like 1 page from the autistic boy, and then you get chapters from, she's like a psychologist, like a child psychologist. And like the mom is confusing to me because she keeps saying, she's like, I don't know, she's acting like they're being stalked by the actual murderer. So I don't really know what's happening, to be honest. I'm just here for the vibes at this point. That's why I gave this stars last year. Maybe it was just like the vibe, because I have no idea what's going on.
I forgot that you said that, yeah, you'd read this before, gave it 5 stars, and now it's so funny that you're still like, nope, I still don't remember anything. Like, it's like a brand new book for me.
Last year, like, I only read for the vibes, but I do not remember anything about this book. Like, I literally remember nothing about this book. So I'm like, well, when did I read this in like a comatose state last year? Like, because usually if I've read something, it'll like pieces will come back to me.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll be like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that, but I won't necessarily remember like I'll remember significant things, but not small details, which is why I can read books. I don't remember anything about this book.
Did you audiobook it the first time, or is it?
Did I what?
Like, did you audiobook it the first time?
No. I read it on my Kindle last year. I had to have, because I definitely was not. I didn't even know what Scribd was last year. Well, until I started BookTube. But I think I was like 3 or 4 months into BookTube before I even knew what Scribd was.
Yeah. I don't think I even, I still barely understand how Scribd works, but I just accept that it exists.
I got Scribd many years ago because it was a platform that you could get old manuals for sewing machines and stuff like that, but it wasn't, it was pay by, like you paid for what you wanted. So like I paid $2 for a sewing machine. Well, here in Australia, that's how it was. And then last year or the year before, I realized, when I first realized that I could speed up audiobooks, that's when I realized that Scribd had gone to subscription based and had everything on there. So yeah.
How did you do?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's reading really quick. Well, I'm listening to it because I'm also putting my magazine together at the moment. So basically, we're in a backwater town in Australia. There's a creek dividing some houses. A couple from London. Originally, the husband was from Australia, and the couple have come back to Australia because his dad has passed away, and they've got to sort out his estate. And the woman is originally from London, and she has had some sort of trauma over in London because she works with domestic violence for women, rescuing them and stuff like that, and something went wrong, so she's over here medicated and all that sort of stuff, and so she's become a little bit voyeuristic and she's looking across the water through binoculars.
One of those.
And someone across the way has a newborn baby, she's seen a bruise on her and all that sort of stuff, and now has gone missing. So I'm guessing now that we've set everything up, which took 22 chapters, half the book, and she's the last person to have seen her. The report's wrong apparently, and she was the last person to see her. And yeah, so according to where I'm up to, I read 9 chapters.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, nearly 80 pages. It's reading really quickly, and the font in this is huge. So
honestly, it reminds me of like that type of voyeuristic trope you see in like various like books and movies, like Disturbia, if anyone remembers that era of Shia LaBeouf. Like that's the one I always think of first. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that in a long time, but
I love that movie.
Yeah, me too. Like honestly, I remember I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" Like, yeah, because I remember I was watching it when I was also like younger.
I feel like that movie was such a good movie, like for its time.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think it was like it's very much like of the era. Like I think that it's, I don't know, like when you watch it, you're like, yeah, this makes sense. This is like, I can't remember when it came out, but like, was it like late 2000s, early 2010s?
Something, because definitely like the chick that played Trinity in The Matrix was the mom, and so yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Because my mom like did not want to watch this movie. Like she was like, I don't want to watch it. Like ew. But like I was a huge Shia LaBeouf fan, like since Even Steven. You know what I'm saying? So allow me to age myself. You're welcome. So my mom was like, I don't want to watch this, like, because it came out around the same time as like the Transformers movies. It had Shia LaBeouf in them, and I convinced my mom to watch it with me because it had Trinity from The Matrix in it as the mom. I think her name's Carrie Ann Moss. I think is her actual, like, the actress's name. But my mom was like, okay, I'll watch it. But like the whole movie was just like creepy, like the creepy neighbor. And then he keeps telling his mom, because he's like grounded to his room or on house arrest. Is he on house arrest? I feel like he's on house arrest.
Yeah, like he's got like the thing on his ankle.
Yeah, he's like on house arrest because like they moved to the new town. He's on house arrest when they move, and then so he like has to like finagle ways to like not leave his yard, but also catch the neighbor. Like it was a whole thing, and I feel like it's not actually a great movie, but like I feel like for the time
when
I watch it, I enjoy it, but it could be nostalgia.
100% nostalgia. Yeah, like I think that anyone who watched it today would be like, this isn't that, creative or that. But like for me, I'm just like, a minute. I would totally rewatch that and have the same amount of fun as I had at the first time. So Shay kept reading while we were initially talking and finished The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. It was lovely, and I think it is perfectly written for its target audience. Solid 4 stars for me. That is awesome. I responded to her saying, like, I'm adding that to my TBR because that sounds so good. And then
What
she's
is this
down
book?
to...
I
What'd
don't
you
even
say?
know this book. I need to. What is this book?
I recognize, like, if you look up the cover, you'll recognize it by that, because I remember when she posted it in the Discord, I was like, oh, I totally recognize it. But yeah, let me see if I can... Beneath the Sea. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to reshare so that people can see what book Shay was reading. Okay.
This is
like, it's got various covers, but here's like one cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, if we blow it up, now everybody can see what it is.
So is this like YA? Like, what is this genre?
I think it is, actually, now that I think about it.
Isn't that part of a series? Well, look out, old lady voice has just kicked in.
I'm taking you all on a journey. Let me see here. Yeah, it says it's young adult fantasy, mythology, retelling. Like, honestly, it looks really good.
Is it part of a series?
Oh, it doesn't say that it is. It
Okay.
like, you know how it usually would put down like X of number in the series?
Because it looks like it's, I don't know who the author is, but the
Daughter of the Moon Goddess, like that one. Yeah, it's a different author, but it does have the same kind of style. I'm looking at it right now.
And the cranes one too, the 6 cranes or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, and I'm wondering if that's just the art style too. Like, in regards to covers, it's become really popular lately. I think that's probably what's going on there.
So this is the one I'm doing. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it or not. Let
me redo this.
Upside down, for the next one that I'm doing. Sorry, there's light on it from the sun.
Is that like the same artist from before?
Same artist, yeah. Jasmine Beckett Griffith's actually one of my favorite.
Truly, oh my god, I can't wait to get paid and I'm ordering some stuff from.
It's huge. It's 22 inches by 27 inches.
I'm just gonna order the little ones because they have JoJo Siwa ones, and Ari really wants them because like her room is JoJo Siwa. Because I feel like she could look up to worse people. And they have like a double pack for like $50 that are 9x9, like square ones. And I was like, I could get these and do them. They wouldn't take me like a super long time, and then I can hang them up in her room. So I'm thinking about doing that.
Yeah, it'd be really fun. That's cool. So getting
my
to these comments, because there's a lot of them. Lexi, hello. Just got off work. You sent this during the sprint. Trying to cool down because it's very hot and humid outside. Yes, that sounds about right. For us, it like rained significantly, and now after the rain, that's when the humidity hits. So yeah. And then Lexi then commented on how fast my Wi-Fi reloads. I'm still kind of going in and out. I can see like my Wi-Fi is like, it is on its last leg apparently. So we're going to keep going though. So everybody just let me know if I start to like glitch out or anything like that. Jean had also said that she'd noticed, but still here. Appreciate it. Yeah, everything's good. I tried as quickly as possible to like let people know. Like Nicole had also messaged me saying, hey, everything's good. It's like, yes, I promise everything's fine.
Yeah, I was like, are you okay?
Yeah.
You okay? Yeah.
Okay. Such a kind community. Everybody checking in on me. I appreciate it very much, genuinely. And got 36 pages read. That is awesome. Tina didn't read, which is also totally fine, but had something to eat, also important. Now I am preparing some yarn for another project I want to start. Oh my gosh, Tina, you must be like juggling so many different projects. I am at 35% of Lovelight Farms. I am trying to finish it tonight. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. Good luck. Again, if you just keep with the reading sprints all 24 hours, you'll be getting it done soon. Do y'all have favorite podcasts you listen to frequently? Well, I'm going to shamelessly plug the podcast I work for. She Done It. It's a mystery podcast. It comes out of the UK, but I work remotely here in the United States. It's very fun. We have a bunch of episodes for those true crime fans as well. What are your guys' favorite podcasts?
Okay, I mean, I can shamelessly plug also because I have a podcast. It's like on hiatus right now, but there's lots. There's like, I don't know, 5 seasons or something, which is called A Day with Crime. That's what it's called. It's me and my dad. Okay, it's fine. It's cute, I guess. And also I made the cover art, so be nice. But as far as like other podcasts, I listen to Serialistly, which is it's like serial, like serial killer, and then Isley. That's how it's spelled. Which is Annie Elise from she has a YouTube channel also, which is 10 to Life. But over on the podcast, she's able to talk about things like in more detail since, YouTube likes to, censor people. I also listen. I don't know. I do Swoop. Like I listen to Swoop. I listen to her like a podcast because most of her stuff is documentary style, so it's 2 to 4 hours long, like each video. I do occasionally still listen to Crime Junkie, but they're a little controversial. Okay. Also, I live in the state where they live, and when I tell you, I just see people in Crime Junkie merch all the time. It's the trippiest thing of life. And then they've changed the podcast name. So I'm gonna during this sprint, I'll look and see what it's called now. But it used to be called Moms and Murder. I think now it might be called Moms and Mayhem. But if you want like a true crime podcast that's also clean, like they don't cuss, they don't go into like a ton of detail. I love that podcast. They're based out of Orlando, Florida, and I don't know. Like, it could just be me too, though, because I've definitely told people to go listen to it and they haven't liked it. But they make like a lot of mom jokes on the podcast because they're literally moms. Like they're
it's in the name.
I feel like I enjoy it because of the mom jokes in the podcast. Because like I had my dad listen to it and he was like, "This is not. I don't enjoy this," and I was like, "Oh, right." Also, True Crime Obsessed is awesome. They like watch documentaries and then commentate them, so you don't necessarily have to watch the documentary. Like you'll know what's happening. But I will say they are not clean. Okay, they cuss a lot, and they like Patrick, which is one of the hosts, is a very gay man, and he laughs. I love his laugh, but it's very like unsettling if you're not. It's very like high pitched, and he laughs a lot.
He's got like a personality laugh, like, rather than
like screams a lot, like. So I'm just warning y'all because that podcast is definitely not for everybody. Like I told my dad not to listen to that podcast, and he listened to it anyway, and then was like, "This man screams all the time," and I'm like, "Yeah." But those are probably my favorite ones that I go back to all the time.
How about you, Nicole?
I listen to a few craft ones occasionally. I listen to a lot of like Australian Wiccan podcasts and about witchcraft and all that sort of stuff because I'm really interested in that topic. Other than that, I pretty much just use BookTube and YouTube as a podcast. I don't generally follow anyone in particular. Yeah, like I'm pretty boring. I mean, I used to don't hate me, okay, just don't hate me. My husband made me listen to Joe Rogan many years ago, and so I listened to him for quite some time. I don't anymore, but there's been some people that he's had on there, doctors and stuff like that, that I started listening to their podcast because it was about nutrition and all that sort of stuff, and I'm really interested in nutrition and how you can heal the body with food and anything holistic or anything like that I'm really interested in. So I'll listen to that sort of stuff. So, yeah. But, yeah, I don't listen to Joe Rogan anymore. He's a douche.
I feel like we've all listened to Joe Rogan at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to listen to Joe Rogan too, and then I don't even know what would have made me want to listen to Joe Rogan, but I did for when I lived in Florida. Everybody listened to Joe Rogan, so I was like, I have to listen.
Well,
to
that
Joe
tracks.
Rogan too.
But I was going to say that's probably because at one stage there, I think I didn't know anybody that wasn't listening to Joe Rogan. My husband got me into it because where we live a long way from everywhere, so we don't always get radio stations or anything like that. So it was easier to have the podcast, and it was sort of before he, he was into audiobooks, but he sort of got burnt out on audiobooks, so he started listening to podcasts and stuff like that. And there were some, as I said, some of his guests on there were quite interesting, so I inadvertently ended up following them. But it was a surefire way to get my husband and I fighting because our principles are pretty much the same, but our train of thoughts and how we travel through life are polar opposite. He is definitely a work in progress. My husband.
And we all have those in our lives, if we're going to be honest. Too,
sometimes we'll say stuff and I just look at him and go, really? And then you feel the daggers of the daughters in the back coming through to the front. And I'm like, I'll just leave it up to them, shall I?
Yes, exactly.
And I just sit there looking out the window and they say it all for me. So there's been a couple of things that he said in the past and I'm just like, wow, I did not know that about you when I decided to marry you. You kept that one hidden. This must be a new thought. So,
exactly.
It's a great way to get us fighting. I've actually walked out of the room because he said things. I'm just like, I'm not going to put up with that crap and walk out.
Right.
And I think people are getting better about that too, like knowing their boundaries, saying like this isn't a topic that is like up for discussion. This isn't something that, and even like with people you're closest to, like I think it's a barrier that's hard to cross, knowing even those you love to like ensure that if they say something that you address it or like acknowledge that you're upset by it. So like I think that I feel like maybe like decades ago, years ago, like it just was a different kind of atmosphere and people just didn't say things, whereas now we're feeling a bit better about doing that. So that's nice. Other podcasts, he
doesn't like it, don't get me wrong, he doesn't like it.
Listen, like they're not, of course
he just like it really look on his face. What just happened? Because a lot of time I think you guys are in your 30s, aren't you?
I am 28.
Yeah, so
I'm 31.
Yeah, I turn 53 tomorrow.
So, oh my gosh! Happy birthday, everybody in the comments! Make sure you tell Nicole happy birthday.
So, not that I wanted to drop my birthday, but yeah, I turn 53 tomorrow. So,
you did.
For me, I've grown up in that era where women were just starting to go into the workforce, and some were still staying at home. So that's that crossover point. And so a lot of time I still have that remnants from when I was younger that the woman just says nothing. And I have that ingrained into me in a way because my mum was very much that way. You just keep your mouth shut. You don't say anything. You don't rock the boat. Now that I'm an adult, I realize that my father was quite abusive mentally and also verbally. So that kept her in her place. So I'm still trying to learn to say, that's not okay. You can't say that. So my daughters now come in. I've got 3, my poor husband. And they come in and they just give him what for when he crosses the line. And I just go, what they said, because that's how I feel and stuff. So I'm still getting better at it. And sometimes he gets a very bewildered look on his face. Like he's not abusive or anything like that, but he's a man's man, he believes that he should be the provider and all that sort of stuff because he's also of the same age. So he's got that crossover as well. So it's hard for that age group to we want to stand up and we want to shout. And sometimes we're the ones shouting the loudest because we can see how wrong it was. And so it makes it really hard to in your own relationships, it makes it hard to go, I want to step this line, because you know there's going to be some sort of confrontation. And if you're not confrontational, it can be quite hard. Just say, but
for sure.
Joe Rogan definitely brought out some issues in our relationship, but for the better, because we've grown from it, which is good. So
and it's better to like be able to address those things. You know,
and
like,
I don't think many people can say that Joe Rogan has been good for their relationship.
Yeah,
for us.
No one would have expected to hear that. I'm sure.
No.
Other podcast recommendations I can give are Tier Books. That one's really good. It's like discussions where they like do with this or that, and they usually have 2 different topics. Or those who like D&D, Dungeons and Daddies. I really like that podcast. Highly recommend. So yeah, thanks for the question, Ro. I hope some people find some good recommendations, and like recommend some in the comments too to each other. Yes, Jay. I'm glad that I'm well too. Everything's good. Whew. Thank goodness. Neva, are you doing a diamond painting? Yes, she is.
I am. Yes. Here, I'll hold it up for you.
Showcase it one more time.
First corner done.
It's going to look absolutely fabulous.
I cannot wait.
Little children,
it's so relaxing. Like, it's like stupid how relaxing doing this is, because I was like earlier I was trying to do like I don't know what it's called, but like when you do more than one,
multiplacing.
It was stressing me out. It was stressing me out. Okay, I'm gonna just be that person that just does one diamond at a time. Yes.
Yeah.
I tried like 2 rows with this little 4 one, and I was like trying to get them lined up perfectly, and I was like, this is too stressful.
Yeah, I only single place it. It's very rare that I'll multi-place, and I've been doing it for 5 years, and I still only single place.
Yeah, I was like, that's really cute that people did that on the video to show me how, but that is, wow, that is very stressful. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I went on Etsy to look for the fancy little like cover holder things. I now have 4 of them in my cart. Am I gonna buy all 4? Probably not. But they're so cute. They're so cute.
It's a slippery slope.
Magnetic.
Oh my gosh, are you going to showcase all of the ones you have? Yeah.
This is
your future.
Cute. Here's the thing. When I was looking at Etsy yesterday, I didn't know what they were. I was like, what the hell do you use these for? Because like the one shop that I found that had them was like she had them sitting on top of piles of like $1 bills. And I was like, what are these for? And then I realized as I was watching videos that you put them like one piece at the top over the plastic, so it'll hold the plastic back, the little whatever, and then you put the magnetic part underneath so that it magnetizes it to the piece of work to keep the film, the plastic covering from like flopping around. And I was like, these are so cute.
So I've got the Mad Hatter.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so cute.
I've got little Christmas ones for Christmas ones that I do. These are all polymer clay ones. I've got some witchy ones for Halloween, but there's a ton.
Yeah.
You can also find them under needle minders because they use them in cross stitch as well. They put them on their fabric, and then that way they sit their needles on. So if you're looking for some, like these ones here, these flatter ones can still be used. But this one was a gift from a friend. I'm Santa's favorite hoe, apparently.
Oh my god.
Listen, clearly my channel is now going to be diamond painting and books. You're welcome for this.
Books and crafts with Neva.
Because it just makes my brain shut off. Like when I say, like I've been doing like the cross stitch world thing on my iPad. This is so much more relaxing because usually that's what I do when I listen to audiobooks. This is like, I don't know. Excuse me.
It does. It switches your brain off because I do a lot of math all day. And I switch between imperial and metric system all the time. So my brain's constantly switching over, and I do a lot of cross stitch and design and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of counting and all the rest of it, and just so we know Nicole can't count. I struggle with counting, but the diamond painting, it just switches off because I do quilting and everything, and it's all math, like all the time. You're constantly measuring and all that sort of stuff. I just needed to find something that just switched my brain off. Reading does that for me, but when I'm listening to audiobooks, I need that something extra. So the diamond painting for me, for the last 5 years I've been doing it. It just, I can sit there and I just fall into the story and I'm just totally relaxed. It helps me sleep better. I've actually recommended it to friends that have children that are autistic and like that repetition where they're sitting there doing repetition stuff. They really like it too. And I always suggest that they do one at a time. My granddaughter is quite hyper at times, so I give her a diamond painting and she slows down. She just gets into the zone. It's a great craft. And you don't have to think. You just got to find a symbol and place the color. That's it.
Yeah. I love that. That's actually, you're convincing me to try it.
It's so good. And then you get like a pretty piece of artwork afterwards too.
Yep.
Yes.
It is for a fall sweater. This definitely isn't a bad idea, and I'm definitely going to go back to my other sweater. That sounds right up my alley, Leandra. I'm thinking it might have been Death Comes to Marlowe, or it might have been She Done It. I'm not sure. We've given a lot of recommendations in this particular chatty bit. I got to page 103 in the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you're enjoying it, Essie. You're like very much into it now. That was a cool choice. I agree. It was a cool choice. I went to a workout and then checked on my cousin's cat while he's away. Oh, I love cats, so my heart feels full. Me too. I'm a cat person, just so everybody knows. If I could, I would like be a cat lady. Or I would run like a cat farm. Like, you know, like how you see those people who have like cat colonies on their land. If I didn't live in an apartment that didn't allow cats, I would have a cat colony. I would love that.
In 10 years, Leandra is going to be living in the middle of nowhere.
Yes. What do they say? Like, speak your dreams into fruition.
Yep.
I want a cat colony. We're setting the record straight right now. Listened to a chapter, finished a square, and made the plan for the night with my boys. Lovely. I love diamond painting. I still have 2 I need to finish from last summer. Yeah, but that's kind of nice that you like can always kind of pause and come back to it. It's not like something where you're like, nope, as soon as I start it, I've got to finish it in like a certain matter of time.
All I'm going to say is if you decide to watch videos, I watched 6 of them. Okay, we're not going to talk about it. The amount of like Etsy shops that sell things from diamond painting, unbelievable. And truthfully, I would rather buy from like the accessories and stuff from like small business. You know what I mean? I love some small business, which I know some people are like, small business is more expensive. Yeah, but they're like real people. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I mean, I got this off of Amazon for $15 because I was like, I'll just get everything off of Amazon. And then if
you're kind of getting used to it, see if you like it.
If I want to actually do this, then, but like now I'm like, what am I going to upgrade from Etsy?
There's all the things.
Oh my gosh, all of them, all the trinkets. Yeah, definitely now. Oh.
Add More Zest is another good one. She has a lot of accessories. She's in the UK, but she ships worldwide. She has a lot of accessories. And you can get off AliExpress, you can get some really good storage systems and whatnot. So I've got this one for my big projects that has the little tubes in it to hold it. So you can number them. Let me get that out.
Yeah, I have like this one that came like with my light board.
Yeah.
Which is what I kitted. This is kitted up for the one that I'm doing right now. And then Mariah had an extra one of these, so she gave me this one, which I don't know what I'm going to use this for. Probably just like extras is what I'm thinking with this, because from what I've been able to tell, a lot of the colors, if you have extras, will work for other projects too. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, these are good because they're solid, and I can just sit them on a bookshelf. They fit on my bookshelf really well, and I've got a couple of them. And they're, because I've got this particular one has this project, which is that one I showed you earlier, has 60 different colors in it. So
Yeah, nice. Tina crochets every single gift as a crocheted item. Yeah, I dream of being that type of person too.
Everyone, I need to find like a Jesus quote for my grandma. Everybody is getting diamond paintings this year. If people are like, "Hey, this is what I want for Christmas," I'd be like, "Cool, you're getting a diamond painting."
There's a cross stitch going around a Jesus one where he's peeking around a corner, and it's called Peeking Jesus, and it says, "I saw that."
Oh my gosh,
So good.
I love that.
It's in cross stitch, but I'm sure you'd be able to find it in diamond painting.
I feel like because you can take the diamond painting, whatever it is, the key. You can switch. The DMC codes match up to cross stitch threads, so like I feel like you could do it the other way around too.
Yeah, you can. The lady from Add More Zest in the UK, she has taken a Heaven and Earth design, which is a full coverage design in cross stitch. It's a company that converts people's artwork into cross stitch. They sell blank canvases, and she got a blank canvas, and she's taking a cross stitch chart and just putting it down, which is something that a friend of mine and I are going to be doing next year. I've scrapped a couple of my Heaven and Earth designs, which are full coverage, and I'm just getting the blank canvas, and I'm just going to do it that way because it's a lot quicker. Like a cross stitch would take me up to 10 years to do because it's huge, the one that I'm doing.
Years.
Yeah. But, you know, like you can only really cross stitch for maybe 3 or 4 hours at a time. So when you put that in a bit of perspective, it's not really going to take that long. If I add all the hours up, it'd probably take me 2 years to do. But that's like, yeah, I've got one that's got 500,000 stitches in it. It's like,
that is insane.
It is crazy. I don't know what I was thinking.
I watched somebody that did, it was like 2,000. It had like 2,000 colors or something, like not like gemstones, but like 2,000 colors. I don't know, but she did it in 3 weeks. Like she filmed herself doing it in 3 weeks, and she was like, "This should really have taken me like 3 months, but I'm on a deadline." And I was like, "Ma'am, like y'all know who Dr. Mike is on YouTube?"
I've heard of him.
She apparently knows Dr. Mike, okay? And she called, he's a doctor on YouTube, but she called Dr. Mike and was like, "My hands are hurting, blah, blah, blah." And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You're saying that you're not really taking breaks." Like the only break she was taking was to like sleep. He was like, "So if you're not taking like consistent breaks and everything like that." And then she had like a more ergonomic pen like this, but then she also had just like, you know, the kind of like generic one like this, but it had like a pencil grip on it. And he's like, "It's good that you have a pencil grip on it." And I was like, "Ma'am, you are going to give yourself carpal tunnel doing
diamond break."
Yeah. Oh, okay. We have only done one sprint, and we've been live for like 2 hours. I promise everybody we're going to get going and sprinting. Oh, wow. I already have the first book of that series on my TBR. I'll have to see if my library has it. Yes, definitely do that. And then let me know what you think of it. I'd love to crochet, to learn to crochet. Yeah, same. It starts with like learning how to do it for sure. Crochet is a very easy hobby to pick up. I'm currently teaching my sister over FaceTime, and I learned on YouTube. Awesome. Got through 12% of Hunt the Stars. Oh my gosh, Zach, I'm so excited for you. I'm at 43% and still loving it. Oh my gosh, it picks up too even faster. Like so much action happens. Reached 28% in A Shadow in the Ember. Awesome, Jessica. Getting ready to go to a book event at a local bookstore. Oh, I support this. With author Adeline Grace for her new book, Foxglove. Oh, I hope you have fun. I am finally close to being done with what I needed to do for work for the week. Maybe. I hope so too, Caitlin. Hearing you talk about Disturbia made me remember another movie, Fright Night, the remake with Anton Yelchin and Colin Farrell. It's Stranger Danger and Vampires. I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to look into that. Or I feel like I've heard of it as like referenced, but I haven't actually. Oh my gosh. Like I apparently live in such a busy street that like there's a lawnmower going on, all this stuff. hey y'all, I will be reading the Hawthorne Legacy for a few more hours for a 48-hour readathon, and after a few hours, go to sleep. Yep, that sounds about right. Like, definitely need to sleep after, like, especially, like, sometimes these reading sprints make me so tired. So Jean asked Shay if you're reading for Tokyo, and Shay had said yes. The Daughter of the Moon Goddess, Six Crimson Cranes, and The Girl Who Fell into the Sea is done by the same cover artist. I was gonna say, I was like, it's got to be the same design because, thank you.
That's
Thank you, Ro, for doing the hard research, for doing the work for us. We just like ask the question out into the universe. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, or Run on Your New Legs. Oh, I guess that's the question too. Unless, maybe I think he meant the other one though. Beneath and On. Okay. So she's answering questions about the prompt for this particular stretch for Tokyo. Okay, there we go. Run on Your New Legs is about a boy who is relearning sports after an injury where he lost his leg. So he is literally running on a new prosthetic leg. Oh my gosh, that's actually awesome disability rep. That's so interesting. Did you watch Only Murders in the Building? I've seen the first season. I need to get back into that personally. I haven't.
I need to catch up on the last couple episodes of the newest season, but I am a Selena Gomez stan. Okay, I just need y'all to know. Like, I have loved Selena Gomez since Barney. We're not going to talk about it. Also, if you have HBO Max and you've never watched her Selena and Chef show, I need you to go.
See, I don't have that, and I do want to watch it because it looks very fun.
Like, and they started it like in 2020, like in the middle of the pandemic, which it was where she got like the whole idea for it to begin with. It was because like we're obviously stuck at home, and when I say that I watched that show every week during the pandemic, I definitely did.
Yeah, the tracks. Hello, ML. Got home and showered and finally joining. Yay! So glad that you're here with us. Ollie's been keeping us company as well. If you think in a driving sense, people would say turn on X Street. So, okay, more directions as far as like what prompts go.
What words work for the prompt?
We have another host in the comments for Amazing Readathon. So exciting. Very fun. All the friends. Ollie listens to H3 podcast, and they recently covered a swoop episode, so I just now know who that is.
Yes. So for everybody who watches H3 or there's a couple other podcasts via YouTube that have covered the latest swoop documentary episode. If you want the full context, you're going to have to go watch her part 1 and part 2 on Colleen Ballinger, but she just released the part 3 on Colleen Ballinger. It was 4 hours long. Yes, I watched it all in one sitting. Ridiculous of me. But it's like 4 hours long, but it's about someone who was very close to Colleen Ballinger, and he like gaslit Swoop and lied to her the entire time that she interviewed him.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It was like a whole thing. So now a bunch of YouTubers are talking about it because she posted the thing. And it was information that people didn't know already.
Okay. Allison listens to Two Hot Takes. Interesting. And then we can proceed to flood Nicole with all of the happy birthday comments.
Thank you.
Oh my
gosh.
Thank
you, everyone.
This is the highlight of the entire sprint. Like all of these sprints is for this moment, Nicole. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. So many happy birthdays. Thank you so much, everybody.
That's so lovely.
We love birthdays over here.
Yes, always something to celebrate for sure. I did say Dungeons and Daddies. That's exactly what I said. It's such a fun podcast. Yeah. Their bio is a non-BDSM podcast about dads searching their lost sons in D&D. Yep.
Yeah, because people were when the podcast was first released, people thought that it was a BDSM Dungeons and Dragons podcast. Like that's what they thought, and they were like, no.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and puzzles are relaxing for me too, Jessica. I agree. More happy birthdays. Yahoo.
Oh, hey, Chrissy. How you going?
Yeah, hi, Chrissy. Friends in the comments. I would be afraid that diamonds would roll away. Yeah, that's a potential possibility too. With diamond painting, I want them to come up with some recycle disposal for them, though, because I worry about the environmental impact, all that tiny plastic. That's actually a really good point, Rally. Yeah. I want to take the, sorry, I might have cut out.
Painting.
Yeah, for the diamond painting, just because of like with plastic and things and like creating activities that involve more plastic, it's kind of like it would be nice if it was like recyclable. It kind of like reminds me of like the K-cup situation with like Keurig, how it was like kind of a devastating invention, even though it helps other people with various things. But I want to take the extras from diamond paintings and make something like decorate a vase or something. Yeah, that would actually be really cool.
A friend of mine has, I did have one here. I think my daughter's taken it. But you know those real fancy vases that you can get with lids on them? They're like from the apothecaries that used to have candy and stuff in them. She's got one of them, and she's using it like coloured sand. So she puts the colours in certain places and then just puts the lid on it. And I think she said eventually she's going to seal it with some resin at the top. So yeah,
that'd be really cool. Like finding like creative ways to still use it all. You can also send in your photos to this online company and they print it as a diamond painting. That would be a really great gift too. Diamond painting seems really fun, but I'm scared of the glue. I have OCD, so I'm like, what if I accidentally eat it? Oh no. Yeah, that would not.
The glue is a tape that's on the paper. Like unless you're eating the canvas, I don't think you would.
Yeah, because like the canvas already has like glue on it.
Yeah.
Unless
you
they're
don't
talking
actually
about, like,
have to.
glue,
Yeah.
Unless they're talking about like the glue that you use like when it's done, like to seal it.
I've never sealed mine. I've seen lots of people seal them, but I've never had to worry about sealing mine because I put them behind glass in a frame.
Yeah, I plan on putting mine into a frame. Yeah. I plan on putting.
We've got a company here that does mail order frames, and you can get Perspex or glass, and they ship them out to you. So it's they're not hanging around for too long.
Okay, yeah. So Riley says still reading, but a little slow now at the moment because I started to feel sick. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you relax if you need to. Maybe switch to like even an audiobook or something so that you're not like, especially if you aren't feeling well. Hello, Ames. Welcome. I'm hoping to be reading Caribbean Heiress in Paris. Well, that rhymed. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I agree. Hope you're doing okay. 6 p.m. and logged off work. Yes, we support this, Caitlin. It's time for the weekend. I got through the work stuff. Now you can read. Yes. ML is also a Selena Gomez stan. Yep. Me too. I love her. We started watching Only Murders and ML got into it, but sadly I couldn't. Yeah, well, that's the thing is like I did actually enjoy it, but for some reason I just haven't gone beyond the first season. So I do want to get into it again though.
I will say this about Only Murders in the Building. You have to go into it understanding that Selena Gomez's character is not necessarily supposed to be likable. I think a lot, and I'm not saying that Ollie did this, but I do know quite a goodbye. I do know quite a few people that didn't like the show because they were expecting her character to be like characters that she's played in the past. So like Alex Russo is the one that a lot of people were like, we expect her to be more like she was in Wizards of Waverly Place. And I was like, that was not the point of the show. But I could see why you wouldn't enjoy it also.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to read so many books to try and catch up. Yes, good luck, Kimberly, especially if you're trying to catch up with like the readathon. It can be a bit overwhelming. I'm talking about the glue paste.
My diamonds around.
It's a wax, Tina. It's not a paste.
Yeah, I think she was in like a
Yeah.
conversation with Rally too, so I don't
Yeah.
know if that's also clarifying what they were talking about.
Maybe, yeah.
Ali is learning about the Colleen drama like it's their job. Yeah, that's so funny. All right, I changed. Made a change in plans. Going to read Lore Olympus Volume 1 for China because it got some little embellishments. Then I'm going to read Volume 2 for Tokyo. Love it. I support that. Lore Olympus, I really enjoyed that graphic novel series. I've read all 4 volumes so far. I could be tempted to go into webtoons and like just devour the entire thing, but I'm like, Leandra, pace yourself. Be patient. So that's what I'm doing.
I still need to look at this. I need to just buckle down and put in a hold of the library.
Mm-hmm.
I keep trying to convince myself that I'm just gonna buy them, but like they're so expensive. That I was like, I can't justify buying them unless I read them and like them first.
Yeah, no, I support that though. You do need to like you should wait to enjoy it because they are really expensive. But ML has to let us know that he's got shingles. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better. That is not fun. That's my father had shingles a few years ago, and it was yeah. I understand that you would be suffering because that is very painful. I'm sure your body's like going on high alert, freaking out. So I'm so sorry. I was going to try a full length novel, but I need something easy to consume. Yeah. I definitely do that, Lexi, because then you can kind of like immediately catch up and just be ready to go. I think that's what like everyone's been supporting is like if you're behind, just read short books to try to catch up, so then you can kind of like have fun at the same time with everyone else.
But also, we don't want you to burn yourself out.
Yeah. So that's also why like
if you need shorter books that are less points, it's okay because like we also don't want you to like burn yourself out. I mean, I know people that have been reading like 500-page novels this entire readathon, and I'm like, that is not
this lady.
Like I love
Nicole, and I like big books. I cannot lie.
And the crazy thing is even with this readathon, I'm still averaging between 4 and 450 pages per book.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yes. Big books are the bane of my existence.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I started off with like reading a bunch of like huge books, and now I'm like, okay, this time I'm reading a shorty just because that's what I mentally need, and I think that's the best choice for you if you like just balance it out.
But I've been finding the audio to go with them, so my library and script's been helping out. Like they were books that I was planning to read anyway, so I just thought it'd be easier to get them out of the way. And of course, I also had Chrissy Stitches, who's in the comments. She picked my TBR for me. Oh, it killed me. Nearly all the books are over 450 pages. I think so, yeah. So there was no way around it for me this time.
Yeah, that makes sense. If everyone's okay, we'll do an hour sprint just to kind of make up for like us doing the bits of the chatty bits, which has been really fun. But I'm sure some people are kind of like, I want to get back to my book. And then also
time to eat also because for some, like for me, it's 6 o'clock. So
yeah. So people might be wanting to get some like dinner, some food. This is probably actually a really good time to do an hour sprint. Yeah, so maybe like someone like Nicole, who's in the Southern Hemisphere, still need to wake up. Still need to like maybe have another,
I need another coffee and some breakfast.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I might get a decaf coffee myself this time around. But yeah, so we'll be back in an hour, and if my internet goes crazy, I promise we'll be back. At least at like 7:15, we'll say too, just in case. But okay, so we'll see everybody in an hour.
Now boarding flight AMZ 882 to Tokyo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you had a successful sprint, whether it be productivity, reading, eating, getting some coffee, which I did, decaf because it's 7 o'clock here in the evening. I got through a couple more chapters in my book, and I don't know, I really enjoy this. I'm not sure if Brittany is still in the comments, but I think she and I, this is a rare moment where we aren't fully aligned, because I prefer the Marlowe Murder Club series to like the Thursday Murder Club. I know people tend to actually like the Thursday Murder Club better, but I actually am enjoying this world a little bit more. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if other people have read either of these series and they agree. But yeah, I think I'm one of the oddballs who prefer this. I also really love the BBC and like Death in Paradise and all of that. So like I'm just a huge Robert Thorogood fan. Anyway, how did everybody else do? How did you do, Nicole? Oh, you're still muted. Sorry. I switched it up and didn't
43 pages I got read. So yeah.
Goodness, very successful.
Hung
Nice.
some washing out, put another load of washing on, fed the kitties, took my daughter to work, and yeah, made a coffee.
That's
no
awesome.
breakfast yet.
Are you still enjoying your book?
Yeah, it's all right. It's got multiple point of views, and they're all as sketchy as one another.
Okay. I feel like sometimes that's the case. It's like either a cast of sketchy people where you're like, they're all the same level of good and bad.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like they're just sketchy. They're all doing something sketchy throughout the book. So you can't pick it one way or another what's happened. Like the character that's disappeared, we know that she's an ex-stripper that's got married and had a baby. So we know that about her, but then there's the neighbors that are a bit sketchy. Then there's this other character that works at the pub. He's sketchy as all get out because he just keeps popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
And then there's poor Liz, who's like trying to recover from a trauma in London, and she's just not knowing where she's at right now, and she's drinking and taking sleeping pills and all sorts of stuff. So they're all just as sketchy as one another.
The way you said that, like the guy who keeps popping up for some reason, I immediately thought Peeking Jesus. And I'm just like, that's him just peeking around the corner.
I see you.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
it looks like Neva might have had to step out for a second. She's got to grab pizza out of the oven. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. Like that sounds delicious. I have like weirdly, it's like I'm having breakfast. I made myself like my grocery store, my local grocery store has like tea cakes. And so I like to like heat them up in the oven just with a little butter. And I'm like, that's my, what do they call it? Girl dinner that has been making the rounds recently. That's what I'm having right now. Let me see. It looks like during the sprint, Rally had mentioned that she's going to do some chores and read in between if it can fit in. I wished her luck, especially because she's still not feeling super hot. So hopefully, yeah. The one thing that she noticed too, though, she said just noticed Rebecca Yaros on the timer ticker. That is great. I don't know what that means. Like in the timer for like Tokyo. Let me know if I've missed something obvious, because I was like, excuse me, what do you mean by this? Because I was like, I'm obviously not observant at all. Tina read 19% of Cat About Town. Oh my gosh, so many C's, because then you've got Kate Conti. Is that like that sounds like it might be a cozy mystery, but
it does.
Like a cat cozy, you know how those are really popular.
I think Lisa, Tina was on my sprints yesterday, and I think she said it was a cozy.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I have 25 Libby holds currently. Oh my gosh, Ro. There's some nonfiction romance, books on the speculative side, and divided in YA and adult. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's one of those things where you get so excited, you put so many holds on books, and then you're like, what am I doing? Like, how much time do I have in the day? Because clearly I'm someone else. I thought I was a different person when I, because it's like I do not have time. Because I have so many Libby books out, but I also have so many physical books that I just haven't gotten to this month. And I was like, and I think it's the readathon for me that's kind of switched things up.
On Monday's sprints, I went over to my TBR shelf that's out here, and I just started pulling books off that I have found audios for on Scribd and also in the library. And I've got a stack of 18 sitting there that I can just knock off my physical TBR because I just got my advent box, which has 24 in it. So I have to make room. So between now and December, I need to knock those books off. And then I found another one last night, and I'm like, oh my God, this list is getting huge.
It's a good motivator, though. But that's a great tip, is especially if you want to get through your physical TBR. My first thing is to see if I have access to the audiobook, because it just makes it like easier for you to prioritize them. And you're supporting like, your library or other, like, you're using services that you pay for. Like, either way, you're winning because you're like making sure to use it.
So I haven't looked at, like, I'm not buying an audio if I don't have can't get it through Scribd, Kindle Unlimited, or the library. I'm not buying it through Audible. So and it's becoming a good way to actually organize my TBR as well. What has audio that I can just, especially considering I would say 9 of them, maybe even 10 of them are big books. So it means that I can continue reading throughout the day or listening throughout the day while I'm working, which is good.
Yeah. I actually, Long Bright River is on my physical TBR, but I also just borrowed the audio from the library, so that's how I'm reading it, and I'm really enjoying it, but I had to put it down for the readathon and everything. But Neva's return.
Pity you weren't on the blue team, because you could have read it for the blue team.
I know, it's the bluest book in the land. Like, literally, like, so blue.
And the book for beside an ocean or beachside, or had to do with water and whatnot. When I went away last week to Townsville, the only book that I took was physical book was Big Little Lies, and it's set in a coastal town here in Australia. So I'm like, yes, nailed it.
Also, your cover is so interesting. I've never seen that cover before. The blue one.
This one is published by Pan.
Oh, yeah.
And it came out. This particular edition was published in 2014.
Okay, yeah, because mine is like grayish with like pops of like almost candy color or something.
Yeah,
so it's like totally different.
And then there's the one where Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman's on the front as well.
Oh yeah. Like the series.
Sorry, this one was published in 2019.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah. And also, it's here in Australia, so we've established that we have different titles, different covers.
Yes, exactly. A different world.
I still haven't found out why Kate Morton's Shifting Fog is called Shifting Fog only in Australia, and everywhere else in the world it's the Riverton House.
Like, I wish there was more transparency about why books are titled differently. Like, I know, like, if you look into it enough, you can kind of find a reason, but it's always really fascinating to me, like who's making that executive decision too? Like, can you imagine that being your job, being like, I was the person who suggested to change this title? Like, like, who are you? Like, I don't know.
And why? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, like, why you just like are like, I'm gonna cause like chaos in the book community. Jessica took that sprint off to cook supper and eat. Lovely. Also put on a load of laundry. Speaking of eating, Neva, welcome back. You're going to be eating. No worries if you don't want to like update us on what else you did this sprint.
Oh, I spilled an entire container of diamonds on my bed. So I spent the first half of the sprint putting those back into its container. That was
You're officially a diamond painter now, because you're not a diamond painter until you spill a container.
Yeah, there you go.
The thing is, like, I felt it because it like spilled on my comforter, but then also like between my legs, like where I'm sitting on the sheet. And I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh no. And then Ari was like, do you want me to help you? And I was like, no.
Yeah, like help me by staying away for a second.
But I think I got all of them.
There's these pads that you can get that are sticky, so your thing will stick to it. It's like a silicone with a tackiness to it, so you can get the things to stick down. And I also I put blue tack on the bottom of my trays and stick it to where I'm working because I am terrible for knocking them over.
Yeah, and I knocked over like one of these. So like one was open, and it was actually this one.
Yeah,
was open, and it just like everywhere. It's fine. So we did that. I also made a pizza, and
I mean 4 pieces. We're eating 4 pieces because it's delicious.
Okay, wow. And then I don't know how many chapters I actually read because I don't remember what chapter I left off on, but I'm on chapter 22, and it says I only have an hour and 47 minutes left of this book. So I'm clearly finishing this. Also, I now have kind of figured out, I think, why I might have given this book 5 stars, even though clearly I don't remember anything about this book. Because I've already had a twist. And like the rating for me went up when this twist happened. So I feel like the ending is what I want, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. But past me gave this book 5 stars. I'm not trying to disappoint her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, you're a different Neva, but maybe you've got the same rating.
Especially since past me gave The Help 5 stars. And when I reread it at the beginning of this readathon, I gave it 2 stars. It did not age well.
Yeah, that is always so interesting.
And like, I watched the movie recently, and I don't remember the issues that I had in the book being in the movie. Which means that they redid those parts.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I was right. I do have that one on like the long,
Oh my gosh, the book that Essie's reading right now.
Yeah, the one with the huge title.
Yeah, like it's like
I just realized I probably could have used for the last leg, which was script.
Which I know you really could have. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, which would have been a lot easier than this chunkster.
Yeah, the one that's like half the size of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I also did a chunker for the last, like I did like Oliver Twist. And like I feel badly if it's one of people's favorites as far as like a classic goes. And there were some funny parts, but there was also like problematic parts that obviously didn't age well. That's why I don't tend to read classics. And so I'm very happy to be like returning to the land of contemporary like mystery. Because I'm like, okay, these people like live during my time. So they have the same
expectations. Classics are always going to be problematic though.
Like, 100%. And like, that's why I don't read them. Yeah. Typically,
I don't mind reading them because it gives me a reminder of how far we've actually come as a society.
Yeah. But with that said, there are some classics that are super progressive that I've never had a problem with, where I'm like, these people existed. So the fact that problematic people, you know, like it doesn't cancel out, you know, sometimes people say, oh, it's of the time. It's like, yeah, well, like there were still people who believed in human rights of the time then too. You just have to you just got to find them and then you can enjoy them that way. But it's just, that's the one genre I always say that I like, if I'm hesitant to pick one up, it's going to be a classic. Yeah, I'm trying to get better because I do want to just at least be able to try them. Hello, just joined in that sprint, reading Beartown and liking it so far. Lovely. Even though you just joined, we 24 hours going on up until from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time earlier today to 12 p.m. tomorrow. So like, even though we just started, we will be moving on to Bree's channel soon at the hour. So yeah, Nicole, be sure to jump back on and join Bree's, and I'll make sure to include a link to the playlist just so that, you know, everyone has access to all of them.
And it's on the playlist is also on my community tab.
And if you keep the playlist open, as soon as the next video starts, it'll automatically start for you.
Yeah, which is honestly, that's lovely. That makes everything so much easier. Lexi cleaned the shower and litter box. Oh my gosh. You're doing the Lord's work. Because those are the last things I always do. Took a shower and started laundry. Yeah, awesome. Is the Marlowe Murder Club a cozy? I heard earlier you were saying the murder happens really quickly, when which I enjoy in cozies. Yeah, like I would say it's tough because sometimes there's a discussion about cozies. Like if it's British, they're like, oh, it must be a cozy mystery. I would say it's more mainstream. Like for instance, I wouldn't say the Thursday Murder Club is cozy. It's just a mainstream that happens to blend in like golden age and cozy kind of tropes. So yeah, like if you like cozies, I feel like you'd like this one, but it is a bit more modern mainstream, if that makes sense. It's really hard with those nuances, but like you'd never see it. Like if your bookstore organizes itself in that way, where like my bookstore has all the cozies in one area, you wouldn't find it there. You would just find it mixed in with like the mysteries and the thrillers. But I think you'd enjoy it, Tina. Like I think you'd like it because it does definitely give the reminiscence of that. Or if you like Death in Fromage, or Death in Croissants is the first one. Death in Fromage is the second one. That's another like British mystery that people kind of tend to think is cozy. I made it to 20% in Our Wives Under the Sea. Nice. I hope you're enjoying it so far. You still have a lot to go, so hopefully you're liking it. I can't wait for Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas and The Haunting of Alejandra by V. Castro to come in. Oh my gosh. I feel like I've actually heard both of these titles as like anticipated reads for some people, like elsewhere. So that like makes sense. And on top of that, it sounds like it might be perfect. I'm not really sure like the backgrounds of these two authors, but I know that Hispanic Heritage Month starts in the United States on September 15th. And it goes until October 15th. So like if people are again looking for titles for that particular kind of time period, those two sound perfect potentially. I am 59% the hover bike part. Oh my gosh, Zach. No one else understands what's going on, but I'm so excited for you. I'm so glad you're enjoying it, genuinely. It makes me so nervous when people read books that I recommend. Not that I necessarily recommended the Hunt the Stars to you, but still, I'm really excited for you. I'm reading 10,000 Doors of January. I know exactly what that book is. That's a gorgeous cover. I'm going to finish it tonight to finally get to Cairo. Yes, we support it. You can do it. And then you only have like so far to go to make it to Tokyo with the rest of everyone else. I'm not at Tokyo, by the way. I'm hopefully going to get there once I read this book. Yes, the timer, when we are sprinting for Tokyo, at the bottom of it, the words going by said Rebecca Yarrow boarded. What? I never looked at that. Oh my gosh. Thank you for letting us know, Riley. We're going to have to like keep an eye on that.
I have been using this timer all day. I did not notice that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is such a fun little nugget. That's really cool. It makes me wonder if in other like timers, if other authors had been mentioned and I just never noticed it because I was like off doing other things. That is so funny. Yes, the banner says Ari Yarrow is now boarding. That's awesome. I feel so silly that we didn't notice it as the people who are like, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me though. Margaret is so clever.
We've got other stuff going on. We've got comments popping up and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Diamond painting, presenting, and everything. Like,
Right.
listen, got a laundry list of things. My girl dinner was a tuna sandwich and cappuccino because legally you can't stop me. Yes, honestly, that actually sounds delicious. I haven't had a tuna sandwich in a really long time, but that sounds delicious to me. Also, I noticed it says, oh my gosh, D Coates, as in Darcy Coates. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. No,
right,
now
I bring this up so we can see this.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna be that type of person who now like goes back.
Now everybody's just gonna see me just like this.
Yeah, exactly. Like instead of like interrogating them, like
I'm staring you down.
They're gonna be like, what the hell is Neva staring at?
Yeah, but it's like I promise I'm not trying to intimidate you to read. Yeah, cozy mystery set in Massachusetts. There's definitely a lot of cat elements, and I believe eventually in the book or series, the main character opens a cat cafe. That's another dream of mine. I want to go to a cat cafe. I've never been to one, but they seem so cute.
Oh, I hope my cats aren't in that cafe. I try to read lately, and my little grey kitten, I've got a touch light, comes up and turns the light off while I'm reading.
It's like, this is so fun. Like, look at this.
And then starts to try and chew it. And I'm like, get off it. And then the other night I was sitting there reading and it kept coming up and swatting the book out of my hands. And I'm like, will you stop it? You're worse than the children.
See, my cat, I don't have one here at this apartment, but like my family cat, he was like a barn kind of prowler cat that we like adopted. And before we ended up adopting him, you know, he had gotten in some scraps and his jaw was a little bit off, slightly off. And so what happens though, it opens the floodgates for drooling when he's very happy. And so as soon as you start petting him, he starts vibrating like anything else and just drooling everywhere. Like if I'm on the phone with my parents, like I'll know that the cat's nearby because my dad will go, like you know that he's been petting it. It just started like, and it's just like, oh, but he's so cute and happy, you know. So yeah, you definitely need to like wear a rain jacket when you're petting our cat. His name was Mr. Brisby, which is also just like, oh, Mr. Brisby walking around. He's so cute. Anyway, that's me gushing about my family cat. I am about 75% through my audiobook and finished about 20 squares today. Oh my gosh, Christina, nice job. The light is changing though, so I'm stopping that and switching to read A Court of Silver Flames for the rest of the evening. Oh my gosh, all of those acronyms. I'm always like, okay, here's the test. Like, am I going to, like, do I actually know this series? I got to 36% of The Witches of Moonshine Manor. That's another one that kind of either is like cozy fantasy or cozy mystery. Like, you know, where it's got like magical realism and things, which is very fun. At 63% of Lovelight Farms. Jean, you are just getting through it. Like, you're definitely going to finish that book soon. A storm has just started, like pouring rain and thunder. So hopefully my power doesn't go out on sprints with Bree. Yeah, hopefully not. That's always so annoying because you want to just enjoy yourself. But then, especially if it's nighttime and like the power goes out, it's like, well, physically reading a book isn't really in the cards unless I stand really close to a candle. I can't believe it has been almost 4 hours already. That went by fast. I know it did. It went by so fast. And now we're in this like weird timeline where it's like what am I doing? 7:35, and it's like, okay, well, Bree starts at 8 o'clock. So I'm not really sure what people want to do. Because it is like it's that weird time period. We could potentially like, I don't know, do like a really short sprint. But that seems like, I don't know. So let me know if anyone has any like ideas of what to do, because we now have 25 minutes. We could just like go into like a 20-minute sprint and then just end it. And then you immediately jump onto these. Yeah. So
we want to do a 20-minute sprint.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll like try to start it by like 7:40 my time. And then literally it'll just be 20 minutes. And then maybe we can do it that way or something like that. But if anyone else like prefers other things, let me know, and we'll kind of do what the majority says. Both books are by Mexican-American authors who write horror. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I mean, we can always talk for 20 minutes too. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
This is where the chaos starts, people. Of your new 24-hour sprints. I need y'all to know that as the night goes on, it gets a bit more chaotic. Mostly it's my fault.
No. Yeah, it's also like pacing, like almost pacing yourself with like how much to read and how much to chat and that type of thing. But yeah, that's awesome with especially with horror. For those who are interested in horror, then that sounds like perfect. I noticed it, but figured it had been talked about, so I didn't mention it. Yeah, no, like you're talking to 3 people who obviously aren't observant at all. Like literally all of us were shocked.
I thought I was observant. Obviously not.
Some of the other timers did have authors on them too. So like maybe it's just that I was like, oh, I noticed it, and then just didn't notice anything else ever again.
I can honestly say I never noticed it. You know, and I didn't know until yesterday about the flight number.
Oh yeah. Like there was speculation about like flight numbers and when like legs were ending and stuff. I know. That's true.
Yeah. I'm like, how did I not put this together? Like, I see patterns all the time and things like that. How did I not see that on these timers? But
me personally, I'm not getting Easter eggs.
Yeah, whereas now it's like, okay, so August 82nd. Well, that's not real. So like obviously things are
28
skipping
if you
up.
go backwards.
Yeah, I wondered that too. Or yeah, like or I was wondering if it's also like dependent on like the time zone of where you are. So like for instance, it's the 25th for us here in the US, but it's the 26th for you. So it's like which time. Anyway, chore break number 1, time to sit and read for a short bit. Lovely. There's a cat cafe near my house called Toe Beans and Dreams. Oh my gosh. Such a perfect name. It is such a perfect name. Rose says we can chat, but it looks like Tina is of the variety of 20 or 15 minutes sounds good for reading. And then Christina was just like, I'm good with a short sprint or chatting. In that case, maybe what we can do is it's going to be really short, but we'll do 15 minutes. And then that can give us time just to come back together, chat a little bit, like just to confirm that
5 minutes and then leave.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then, yeah. And also like, just so everybody, like in case you haven't done this already, make sure that you're checking out Neva and Nicole because they're both lovely and it just doesn't make sense for you to be on my channel right now watching if you haven't subscribed to these two people because like what's happening because they are brilliant channels. So yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thanks.
goodness. Of course. Like genuinely.
Congratulations, Neva, as well
for being my friend.
Having membership as well.
Oh, thank you. I have not plugged it at all. It's like at all. Just so y'all know, if you really, there's nothing up on it yet, okay? But we hit 500 subscribers, so I got approved for memberships and like I don't know what they're called, like super chats or whatever. I don't know. I think you do those like in live
stickers and thanks.
Yeah. So if you want to join the membership, there are 4 tiers. I think the like most expensive tier is only like $10 or something. Like I try to keep them as affordable as possible. So if you want to join that, you can. I'll be posting.
Where's my cereal? My cereal.
What?
My Honey Nut Cheerios that I asked for from the store.
There's Honey Nut Cheerios downstairs.
Those are mine?
Sure. I don't know. They're Honey Nut Cheerios, bro.
Mother, you said you would buy me that cereal.
Okay. All right. I will get another box probably tomorrow. Okay. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh, I will be posting content in the membership because like I'm pretty sure you can watch old, you know what I'm saying, old content, just so that I can get a feel for how to do it because I have no idea what I'm doing. So you're welcome for that. Starting in September, I'll be posting like small things, vlogs and stuff over there. So if you want to join, go do the thing.
Still enjoying
all the things.
Our team. I'm so bad at like PRing for myself.
This is why you have friends who remind you to be like, hey, you're doing really cool stuff. Like, so thank you, Nicole, for being that person.
Yeah, I hit 500, but I don't think it's available yet down here.
Oh, in Australia. Mm-hmm,
yeah, because they're rolling it out. I think they're rolling out the UK and somewhere else in the next week or so. So they're doing slow rollout because I couldn't find where I could do it. So, so yeah. But congratulations, well done.
Thanks.
Congratulations. I'll also during the sprint, I'll make sure to put a link in for Neva's like sprinting playlist so that everyone can make sure that they are on that, and then it'll just transfer you right over to Bree when the time comes. So yeah, so I'll make sure to do that as my priority. Okay, we'll see everybody in a very, very short time. Happy reading.
now boarding flight AMZ 882 to Tokyo.
Welcome back, everybody, from that very, very quick sprint. I hope that everyone was a little bit productive, even if it was just to go to the restroom, so you can kind of prep yourselves for breeze sprints after this. As a reminder, when we end this, it will, if you're following the playlist for Neva, it will immediately take you to breeze. If not, you need to go to 4 Paws in a Book, and then you can get on to breeze sprints there. Firstly, thank you everyone who was really patient with me today because of like the craziness of the internet, but also like this is probably had the most viewers at one point for me as someone who's been doing reading sprints. We had like at 1.35 or so, and I was admittedly feeling a little overwhelmed. So thank you everyone for being so kind and just like patient in the comments. And obviously thank you Neva and Nicole for just, as always, being like my rocks and just like going with the flow, because you're both like in my eyes reading sprints veterans. So I really appreciate you both being here. Yeah.
Well, Leandra, I appreciate you for hosting 24-hour sprints for, I don't know if this is the second month or the third. Have you done all 3 months?
You know what? I've done 2 months, and I didn't do last month because I was busy reading and everything. And you want to give other people chances to kind of be able to do it, because it's just really fun to participate. So yeah, like I'm totally fine with participating once in a while, because then like other people get chances. Maybe next month Nicole can be the person who's maybe during more of your normal hours. Thank you for being such a champ and like doing this at like 6 a.m. your time.
It's okay. I suffer with insomnia anyway, so the chances was I was going to be up anyway. So
I was going to say, because Nicole
Chris is always on my sprints every week, both Monday and Friday, and I do sleep. I did sleep last night, although the neighbours were making it hard. I did actually sleep.
Oh my gosh, well I'm glad. Yeah, it looks like people were productive though. Read 6%. Started a second load of laundry. Lovely, Lexi. And then Rally says, appreciate you all. We appreciate you. And again, we appreciate everyone so much. I'll make sure to like end the sprints now just to give people time to kind of transfer over. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me. And thanks for the invite again, Neva, as well. Thanks.